This week on Media Loan, I have the Leapmotor B10. If you've not heard of Leapmotor, they're a Chinese electric car brand, one of the newer, new-ish Chinese players, very successful in China. And outside of China, the global market, they are in partnership with Stellantis, so think Jeep or Alfa Romeo. And this is their mid-sized family SUV. Previously in Australia, we've had the C10, which is bigger, more sort of Model Y size. Comes in two variants, the Style and the Design Long Range. This is the Design Long Range behind me. So the Style has 361 kilometres of range. It's about 39 grand drive away, 11 kilowatt AC charging and 140 kilowatt DC charging. That DC and AC charging is actually pretty good. But this one, the Design Long Range, is about 42 grand drive away, has a better 434 kilometres of range, and you get 11 kilowatt AC charging again and 168 kilowatt DC charging, which is not bad, especially in this price point and in this price bracket. And at 42 grand, I would say that 3 grand would definitely be worth spending the money. You get a lot of nice things like heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, a better stereo. You get 12 speakers instead of 6 speakers. You get a powered tailgate. You get that light bar across the back. It goes on and on. It would be worth to me spending the extra 3 grand for the nice stuff, right? And you get that faster charging. So there is a lot of competition, of course, in this particular price point. There's a lot of mid-sized family SUVs. This is about 4.5 meters long. What would you be in competition with? BYD Atto 3, maybe the Geely EX5, the MG S5, but also you've got things like the JQ J5 and the Atto 2, which are cheaper, but yeah, bit of competition. But this does, as I said, have really good DC charging for that segment. You've also got the Ion V. Honestly, it goes on and on, doesn't it? Don't like the position of the charge port. It's on the street side in Australia, which is not great for curbside charging. I do rather like that colour. Yeah, I'm going to be that person that talks about the colour. I don't mind it at all. I think it looks a lot like the Geely EX5. What do you think? I think it has like a sharper nose, which I like. But yeah, it's lovely. Let's go and have a little look inside. But yeah, see that charge board? So of course we've got those typical hidden door handles. These are less of a conundrum in that you kind of go, oh, okay, I'd put my thumb there. Let's open it up. It feels like a very substantial, nice, heavy door. We've got a nice bit of stitching here. The fit and finish in this cabin is actually excellent. We don't have adjustment for your mirrors. It's only windows and it's backwards to what you would expect. Also, that doesn't look that substantial in terms of putting a bottle in there. Vents you can move with your hands. They light up in this top spec, the Design Long Range, which is good. And we have a two-tone steering wheel here, which is lovely. I think that's great. I don't like that. So I like to sit fairly high up in my seat, but when I went up high I felt like I was too high, so I came down a little bit, and that's as low as I can get the steering wheel, and it just feels like I would like to take it lower and I can't. So we've got some wheelie adjustment buttony things here. That's your voice command. This is for your screen here, and this is adjustable as well, this instrument cluster, which is great. No head-up display, and you've got quite plasticky, sort of cheap here, but these materials here feel quite nice. I don't like that. I don't know what's going on there. I don't see the point of it. And I would much prefer that was a shelf with maybe a rubber lining, something similar to maybe the Insta would be quite nice. Just, practical. It's just not very practical. We've got a very snappy central screen here, which is great. We've got wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. It does take a little bit of getting used to this screen. Yeah, everything, of course, is in the screen as usual. You've got your aircon here. All these buttons seem a little bit small to me, but it's fine. Maybe that's just me. You can get to your heated seats and ventilated seats here, which is quite nice. Doesn't that look nice? And you've got your heated steering wheel, of course, so that can go down, and yes, ventilated. Great. Only in the front. Recirculate button here, which is good. Again, quite small if you're driving. That would be a little bit like, how do I get to things? But essentially, the best thing about this screen is the shortcuts. So the most annoying thing about this car thus far is the speed sign recognition, so the car beeping at you. The beeping itself is actually not that annoying. It's quite subtle, which is rare. Not too bad. But it's just inaccurate. It keeps misreading the sign, so it does beep at you a lot. But they obviously know that because you can turn that off with that. You can turn that off like so. So you have to do it every time you get in the car, but great. The thing that's missing from those shortcuts is the lane keep assist. It's just really insistent and it comes on far too often. So they need to add that to here. That would be better. You can edit these, so you can do this and you can bring a few extra things here. Just little shortcuts to things like vehicle to load, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which is great. And then you can close it like that. We've got guard mode, which is your dog mode, which is great. You've also got camp mode, so it's nice that you've got that dog mode. Not many cars do actually have that. You've got shortcuts to heating, your heated steering wheel, stuff like that, ambient lighting. So great, that's actually fantastic. Just add those things like lane keep assist and we'll be tickety-boo. We've got these techno leather seats, techno leather, I assume that just means plastic, seats in this top spec, the design long range. I do wish that these seats were more adjustable though. They're 6-way and 4-way, so they are electric in both seats, but there's no lumbar support and this part of the seat isn't, I can't adjust it and I can't even do it for the driver's seat. So I just feel like a bit more adjustment would be fantastic. So I've got these funny little cup holders here, not great for piccolo drinkers, but fine nonetheless. And I do like that all of these little surfaces have got their own nice removable lining. That's great, that little rubber mat. Details, details. You've got a 12-volt, you've got USB-C, USB-A. Now, we've got a phone charger here. Space-wise, I don't love it because when I take my glasses off, my sunnies, for example, and want to change over, so I'm going through a tunnel, put my glasses on, I want to be able to put things here within easy reach, and they fell off when I did that. And it was just like, I just wish that that was somewhere a bit more practical. Otherwise, you kind of have to put it down there. And when I'm driving, that just feels a little bit annoying. This phone charger, when I put my phone on it, it keeps turning on Apple Wallet. And I'm like, what do you want to do? Take my money? What's happening? They need to fix that. I've come across that one other time, and it was in the Deepal SO7, which they fixed with an update, and I'm sure they'll fix with this. But yeah, it is super annoying. It's constantly trying to open Apple Wallet and try to open Face ID, and I'm like, what's happening? What's happening right now? Okay, so we've got a bit of storage here as well. Again, a nice little rubber lining there, but yeah, look, it's actually a really lovely interior. Lots and lots of headroom. I love a light roof or a light headliner. You've got an electric roof shade here. One big plus is, as well as the DC charging, it actually has dash cam inbuilt in the car already, so you don't have to go out and buy that. You just need to put a USB stick down there, and yeah, I don't think it records in centering mode, so don't think it does that, but it does when you're driving. If you had an incident, you would have that. So that's actually a massive plus. Nice stitching in the door here, and let's get in. Again, massive headroom. I mean, it is basically a big box on wheels. We've got completely flat floor down here, pocket. We've got a little grab handle and a nice little hook for your laundry. Again, vents you can move with your hands, which always makes me happy. We've got a USB-A and a USB-C. It looks like that's lit as well, so it'll be easy to find in the dark, which is great. And we've got a nice bit of storage there. Now, in this top spec, you get an armrest with cup holder, but you do not get that in the base model. That's another one of those extras that you get. So if you're really attached to armrests in the back, then you're going to have to go for the top spec. But this glass roof creates a lovely sense of space, and of course you do have an electric roof shade, so yeah, let's go look in the back. No rear windscreen wiper. It took me a little while. I was like, how do you? And you will do it a few times until you get used to it. The button is here. One of the things I'm actually really excited about this car is that there is a B05, which is built on the same platform, and it's a hot hatch. Yeah. I'm waiting for that, and we are getting that apparently, so look out, here we go. We've got our nice little shady thing here. What is the name of that? Can you tell me? I don't know the actual name of it, which is great. Love these, and it's always weird when a car doesn't have it. So we've got shopping hook, we've got a light, another shopping hook here. In this top spec, you get a better stereo, so it has 12 speakers, base model, it has 6 speakers, so another reason to go for the top spec. We also have, thankfully, lots of space under here for your cables. tyre repair kit, of course, and a very roomy boot. Actually, before I put the seats down, look, that's quite nice. You can put that under there. Somewhere to put it. Under there. Love that. Let's put the seats down. Okay, so I've actually put down the front driver's seat so you can see they go completely flat as well, because this car has, as well as dog mode, or whatever they call it in this, it has camp mode because it has vehicle to load. This is your camping vehicle where all these seats go completely flat and you can hang out in your car. So it would have been actually good if they had a PowerPoint, but they do not. But you do, of course, have vehicle to load for the putting an adapter in and powering a site. But yeah, look at all that room. That's amazing, right? Okay, what do you reckon, frunk or no frunk? I'm gonna guess no frunk. Oh, here we go. No, it's that classic, there's room for a frunk, but there is no frunk. Oh, that's really frustrating. That's really frustrating. Had to. That's really disappointing because there is definitely room in there. I wonder if they do actually offer an aftermarket frunk or someone makes one, because that is just crying out for a frunk. There you go. Leapmotor B10, no frunkage. So how does it drive? It drives well. I'd say it's not as soft as, say, something like the Geely EX5, but it's very, very comfortable over all the beeps. That collision alert was really not going to happen and was over the top. There you go. It is intrusive. I think the ADAS is a little bit immature. That's one of the things that I would love to see them fix in an update, which of course they can do. That just told me I was going to crash. I really wasn't. The lane keep assist is really intrusive and annoying. It's not violent, doesn't try to rip the steering wheel out of your hands, but it just comes on all the time unnecessarily. So adding that to that swipe down shortcut would be really fantastic. I do like that the beeps in this car, when they do happen, are subtle. They're not like in your face, but I'd like to be able to turn them off in a customized profile. I think that they should add something like MG Pilot or what Geely have done with the EX5. It's just an easy get around A to B kind of car. Really practical in terms of space in the boot. I do wish that these seats were maybe a little bit more adjustable. They are very comfortable, but yeah, I just wish I could adjust them a little bit more. And this steering wheel, I wish I could lower it a bit more, but they're not deal breakers. A lot of this stuff is not deal breakers. And the fact that it has an app and you can open the car with an NFC card or use your phone as a key is actually a really big positive as well. Just comfortable. And that's kind of what you want, isn't it? You just want to get in and go, and this car is that. And the fit and finish is great. I love these lighter interiors. I love that it has an electric roof shade, and I would definitely go this spec, the design long range. You'd want that 435 kilometers of range. I don't think 361 kilometers is enough. I don't really like the full one pedal driving. It's a little bit too jerky. I think maybe your passenger could feel sick from that. I would potentially leave that off and just use the strongest regen. I think it's good. You're not coming to a complete stop, of course, but you're less likely to make your fellow passengers feel a bit, ugh. The indicator's on the left, just so you know, which I quite like. I've driven a lot of European cars. Doesn't bother me. Bothers some people. I don't know why, but it does. So there you go, Leapmotor B10. Go and check it out. It's a good car. It's a good car, especially for the money. There you go.